Hi and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to take these two pots and I'm going to replant them with some flowers. They have flowers in them, and I had went to Indiana for the winter, and while I was gone, my husband unfortunately did not take care of them. So I got some new flowers today, so that's okay. That's the nice thing about it being spring, is you can buy flowers anywhere and everywhere. So just gonna put a little dirt in here. I actually already did this once and I put them in the pot, and then I realized I had not hit record. So, but that's okay, we're gonna do it again. I got some dirt down in here. I have my flowers right here. I got these pretty yellow flowers. I thought they would go good with my with the siding on the side of my apartment here. And so you just take it out of the container it comes in, and then you just want to break up the roots a little bit just so that they can spread out and grow. And you can see how I'm not sure if you can see it, but I've already done that, so you can kind of see where they're hanging. And I have that little bit of dirt down there, and that will help the roots to find a new home down inside that dirt. And then what you want to do is continue filling your pot with soil. So I have some soil here. Just going to take this cup and just add some more all the way around. And then when I'm done, I'm just going to add some water and a little bit of plant food. This is a project that I've been wanting to do for a while, because I can sit on my couch and I can look out here to my lanai. And it's always so nice to look out here and look at my plant in the summertime, my pretty flowers. But what happened was Hurricane Ian came through. And when it did, it tore down a lot of the siding. So the siding on here was yellow and brown. So that's why the ceiling is brown. It used to match. And when they replaced the siding, they replaced it with the blue. It's like a bluish gray, but they did not paint the ceiling. So that's one thing I want to do. I have several projects out here I'd like to do. First, I want to make it pretty so I can be inspired to come out here to do these projects. So that's why I decided to go ahead and plant the flowers first. And then I'm going to get some paint, and that will be a project for another day. We can come out here, paint the ceiling. There's several hooks out here that were from the previous renters of this apartment, and I'd like to take all those hooks down, maybe putty them, paint it, and just make it look pretty for when I'm sitting on my couch and I'm looking out my lanai. So there we go. That one is done, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the second one. I'll go ahead and just put this one down here out of my way. That bag's a little too big for everything to be up here. And this is just an old towel I took out of my closet, an old beach towel, a spoon, and a cup. Okay, we'll put a little soil down here on the bottom. And this is just some Miracle Grow that I bought probably a year ago. So I got it from, I think, just my local Walmart. You can get it anywhere. I might have bought it at Home Depot, but you can get soil anywhere. I'll put a little hole down in there for this to fit. And like I said, I already did the roots. So they were already kind of crumbly. That's why it fell down inside there. Normally it would be all compacted and you kind of have to break the roots up, but since I already did that part, it fell right down in there. So we'll get some more of this, put it down inside of here. I also had, other than flowers, I had some plants out here. I had wandering Jew and a philodendron, and I had a really cute, I don't know what it was, but it was like a pom-pom. It was so cute. I loved it so much, but when I came home, it was no longer with us. I do have like indoors, my indoor pots, plants. Oh, what is that attached to? Or am I just putting dirt on top of my flower? That's not good. When I came home, my flowers, well, I didn't have flowers, but I had plants inside. The wandering Jew, the philodendron. I did have some plants inside, so they did survive. So what my plan is just to propagate. It's where you take a plant that's inside your house that already has a start, and you just replant it in a pot. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna replant some of the flowers that I already had. Well, they're not flowers, they're plants. I'm gonna replant them. So if you like to watch, please stay and watch us plant flowers and plants for the spring and summer. So there we go. It was that easy. So here they are. And then I have some water down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add some water. Really don't need a whole lot. So I'm just gonna put these hooks back on here. And I got these planters from my mother-in-law a few years ago. So she would buy some hanging plants, and then at the end of the season, because they're from Indiana, at the end of the season she would just dump everything out and put them in her garage. So she had a whole bunch of them. So she gifted these to me, which was so sweet of her. And I will just go ahead and hang this up right here. So here we have the second one. I went ahead and put the hook on it, and I will go ahead and hang it up. Okay, so here I have another empty pot that is from who knows how long ago, years ago. And I have another thing of pretty flowers that I want to pot in here. So I'm just gonna dump some soil down in here. Now this one I might be able to do a little more soil than the, not sure. I am not a professional at this. I never have had a garden or anything like that. I just like to look at pretty flowers on my lanai. So when I moved here, that's what I started doing, just going and buying some pretty flowers. Now I've always kind of had plants in my house, but never flowers. I've never been good at like growing flowers, and especially like in my house. But I can put a flower in a pot and leave it on my lanai, water it, feed it, and it grows. Now when I go to Indiana, my husband will more than likely let my poor plants die, but that's okay. That's what's so nice about this time of year. You can just go buy more. So here we have these, and I think I've let them sit a little too long. Life kind of got busy there for a minute, and they've been sitting on the floor. But like I said, we'll just break up the root a little bit like we did the other ones. Just break it up so they can spread out. We'll make a little hole down in here. Yeah, it's okay that I put this much dirt in here. And we'll just keep doing it. Now this one fared a little better, which I don't know if you can see the flowers. They might blend in with my little outfit. But I thought, for doing flowers today, I should have something flowery on. Flowers for flowers. I was afraid they went, oh, there you go. They weren't gonna pop out of there, but since they're so dry, they were popping out pretty easy. Okay, we have 3 of them down in there, and I'm pretty sure I have enough room if I scoot everything over for 3 more. And then we'll move on to, let's see, what do we want to do next? I have a wandering Jew over there. We'll just yeah, we'll move on to the wandering Jew. I do have a cactus out here. No, that's not a cactus, it's an aloe plant. And it did survive, barely survived. It has a lot of dead on it. And maybe what I could do is show it to you guys and you can tell me what I can do to fix all the dead spots. I think what happened, maybe it got too much sun. I'm not totally sure what happened to. I left it with my husband, that's what happened to it. I'll just break this up a little bit and this will be the last one. And I'm so happy to be getting these planted. They needed planted, I didn't want them to die. And I really miss having flowers out here. All right, so let's put some more soil down in here. That came out really good. I'm happy with how that turned out. Now the wandering Jew, I just took a bunch of what was left that was dying from the pot inside that my husband did not water. And I stuck it in a mason jar and put water in it. And it has been like that since I got back from Indiana in February. So some of it's starting to die. I noticed the other day I hadn't given it very much water, so I did go ahead and water it. And that's kind of what has inspired me to buy some plants, some flowers, and do this. Because I thought if I have to, you know, replant that in some soil, why not get some flowers, fix up my lanai, make it all look nice. So that's it. That's all there is to it. Okay, I'm gonna add some water to it. And I do have some food. I didn't bring the plant food out here to the lanai, so that's okay. I can water them later. But now we have some more flowers, and I'm excited for these flowers. I really hope, since there's a lot of buds, I really hope that it doesn't die, because I waited maybe too long. So I'm just gonna set that over here. So this is my wandering Jew that I put in this, it's in a glass mason jar. And some of it's dying, but some of it is still alive. And then, oh, this is my pom-pom. It was so pretty, and I really loved it. And I tried to take really good care of it. But like I said, my husband, he didn't water it. It didn't make it through the winter. Oh. But that's okay. We will just start over. I have the spoon. I'm just going to break up this. Already has some dirt down in here. Same soil that I used. So I'm just going to break it up with this spoon. And this has been in here long enough that it has grown quite a few long roots. So I'm just going to put it right down in there and let those roots just keep on growing. And we will have a pretty wandering Jew again. Now this probably is not the ideal pot for it. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I just put plants and flowers and things because I think they're pretty. And if it starts to be like I need to hang it up, I can always buy a hanging pot and hang it up out here after I paint my ceiling. And it may look really pretty in a hanging pot. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and plant this whole thing right down inside here. Because I think that's what it needs. It needs some dirt. It wants some dirt. I'm going to plant it down in here with this dirt. Now, I've always heard that wandering Jews do not like dead leaves. That it doesn't like to grow that way. So, I'm going to try to pick some of them off. It's the next day, and I went ahead and took these wandering Jews apart. Well, I didn't mean to. I started picking and plucking all the dead off of these stems, and it just fell apart. And that's all right. I had still a root system here that I was able to plant this down into some dirt, And then with the ones that fell off, they don't have a root, so I can't plant them in the dirt. But what I did was I just put them in this glass jar, exactly what we already had going on. But I just had taken it out of this glass jar thinking I could plant the whole thing, but there was too many dead in there and it just fell apart. So what you want to do if that happens is just go ahead and put it in some water, any kind of like glass jar or cup or whatever you have. But what you want to do is make sure that you don't put any of the leaves down in here, which it looks like I have some that have fallen down in there. So you'll just take the leaf off, and that way it's just, okay, that one might be okay. So it's just sitting down into the water. So that's what we have there. And then today I want to try and find something for my spider plant. I have a spider plant that Austin did not kill, but it is really long, and the little pups, what they call them, they're hanging on the floor. So I want to get them in a hanging basket. I have plenty of hooks out here and plenty of space that I'd like to hang some of those out here. So I'll show you what that looks like. So this is my spider plant, and it has grown really big. On this side it's empty. Inside my apartment it sits on a shelf, and this part is facing the wall, so it hasn't gotten sunlight. And then Austin, he's just let it dry up and just about die. And then here are the pups that are hanging down. So what I want to do with this is take these dead ones off also, get it all cleaned up, and propagate these. So how you want to do that is you can take a pair of scissors and you can snip it off, because it's already started to grow a root. You can snip it off and you can put it down inside of a pot, and that's what I'd like to do today, is go get some pots, some hanging pots to put these down inside of, get them off the floor, get them healthy again. They're really white, which means I think that means they're probably not getting enough nutrients. The thing with plants are, if you have a plant that's dying like this one, your plant will take all the energy, the water and everything, and try to send it to whatever's, you know, far, far away that's dying, and it won't really take care of itself. So I would like to just get this repotted if I could, to get some hanging plants out of it, and it just makes more and more plants. So this way I don't have to buy more plants. I can make my own plants from the ones I already have. There is a wasp out here. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I have lots to do today. So maybe later I can show you what I bought, and I can show you my aloe plant to get some advice for that.